With the launch of a lingerie line, she landed herself a promotional interview with Cosmopolitan, and good God, this girl just doesn't know when to shut the fuck up already. Sydney Sweeney has launched a lingerie brand, which is an interesting choice for an actress with a lackluster at best career who's alienated the female audience she once had in favor of catering to conservative males. But here we are. Somehow, this led to her admitting to her apathy towards politics in a time when the US government is literally attacking and murdering its own citizens. Found out she was registered as a Republican, that is. And that should spell it out for you. To be clear, end of story. Sydney maintained silence on the issue for most of the year until her GQ interview in November, in which she essentially said it was just a jean ad, refused to comment any possible thoughts that may float around in that airhead of hers, and said she will speak on issues she cares about when they come about. Basically, crickets. Now, after posing for a photo with released Israeli hostages allegedly set up by her Zionist billionaire boyfriend, Scooter Braun, we have Siren. She has this Cosmopolitan interview. Just the cover is already on my nerves. This woman went from saying she doesn't want to only be sexualized to doing just that to herself. Also, could she look more like a Republican star from the 80s here? And the roots are awful. Some may say it's rude to come for another woman this way, to which I would respond, I should have the free reign to do so, considering that's what she supposedly voted for. Let's begin. If you ask her, which we did, the images you're looking at are about control. She's creating a moment she can own in something she designed, asserting with lace that she hasn't yet with language. This can be how I communicate to my audience, she explains. I want to show women that we can take back our power and fully free ourselves. So the thing is, no matter how many times we try to paint the self-objectification as empowerment, it's still catering to the male gaze. It still benefits only the male gaze, never us. It's a trap. I just don't think there's any other way to swing it. More so, I don't think she's being genuine because all she does is cater to men. And pause, trying to paint this as self-empowerment for women just kind of sounds like you're scrambling to get back that female audience that you lost because you want them to buy your shit. Also, which women exactly are you talking to? You drove them away. Sydney was also credited with helping revive the modern rom-com alongside Glenn Powell, who praised her marketing genius after they leaned into dating rumors off-screen before denying them. The movie Anyone But You, which Sydney also executive produced, grossed $220 million worldwide. That is definitely something you're allowed to say. The only thing I heard about this movie is that she can't act, but I digress. It's just... the powers of Hollywood are trying obnoxiously hard to make this bitch happen for some reason, and I genuinely don't understand it. Another pause. If you go on any social media post about, from pop culture accounts, from magazines, from gossip people, every time they post about Sydney Sweeney, the comments are all like, I'm so sick of seeing her. Why are you trying so hard to make this happen? Is she paying you to post about her this much? The regular people are over it. Yet, the Sydney Sweeney machine kept moving. Her thriller, The Housemaid, recouped its entire $35 million budget in days and secured a sequel. She continued promoting her box office triumphs, like The Housemaid, and tribulations, like Christie, alike, while articles like Sydney Sweeney was a star on the rise, what happened, flooded the internet, and her image became increasingly linked to MAGA despite her never once endorsing it. Yeah, never once endorsing it doesn't cut it anymore. You are either very vocally loud against it, which she has not been, or you're for it. Silence is complacent, especially when people are getting f***ing murdered. People just see through the bullshit of celebrities and influencers trying to avoid an issue now. Also, I'll remind you of this. This argument falls embarrassingly flat. Would also like to say 2024 is an interesting time to register as a Republican, but what the fuck ever. Blow me. The article gets into hiring women to design the line, presses further the notion that posing sexually is supposed to be empowering and that somehow makes her a girl's girl. 2 + 2 = fish, the fuck? Even says that a woman should get to decide whether or not she wants/needs an abortion. Wow. Progressive queen. All of that is political, mind you. Let's get to the kicker that claims the contrary and has everyone mad at her again. There is a charged nickname that has stuck to you on social media, MAGA Barbie. I see it in Instagram comments constantly. How do you understand this label given that you've been private about your politics? I've never been here to talk about politics. I've always been here to make art, so this is just not a conversation I want to be at the forefront of. And I think because of that, people want to take it even further and use me as their own pawn. It's somebody else assigning something to me and I can't control that. You really can, though. You just choose not to, and The only people who choose not to are the people who are aligned with those very fucking accusations. They think you're stupid. People like this think you are stupid. One thing that does seem like a clear line for you: you don't speak to your fans directly about your political beliefs. You're not the first celebrity to be called out for this. Taylor Swift famously grappled with how much of her personal politics to discuss before speaking out. Do you think you'd ever change your mind about doing the same? Is there a future in which people will get to see what you believe politically? No, she answers. I'm not a political person. I'm in the arts. I'm not here to speak on politics. That's not an area I've ever even imagined getting into. It's not why I became who I am. I became an actor because I like to tell stories, but I don't believe in hate in any form. I believe we should all love each other and have respect and understanding for one another. That's political, you stupid bitch. Jesus Christ, I'm so sick of privileged people just being dumb. And I'm trying to get to a place where I stop calling people dumb, but holy I think I am a dumb person. So it is truly baffling and frustrating and worrying when there are so many people dumber than me. You, my viewer, I am sure you understand this, but I will clarify anyway that my tone isn't directed at you. When I get passionate about things, it is often misconstrued as aggressive or mean, mostly because it's a microaggression and brown people can't be passionate about anything without being called angry, partly because this shit does actually make me aggressive and mean. But I want you to know I'm not talking down to you. It's always the subjects of my videos that grind my gears, and this really does. So listen, the fact that you, Sydney Sweeney, are allowed to share your thoughts without having a man approve first is political. The fact that you can prance around in a bra and panties for a camera for the entire world to see is political. The fact that you have your own bank account is political. The fact that you are allowed to do what you want with your body, whether it be fashion or dyeing your hair that horrific shade of blonde or an abortion, well, is political. Later in the interview, she says she's worked with basically Nepo babies while she herself had no connections in the industry and built herself up, and the different approaches to work is interesting. Whether that's true or not on her part, that's political. Wealth and connections are political. The most political of all, perhaps, is the fact that you are a woman in the arts. How do you say, quote, I'm not a political person, immediately followed with, quote, I'm in the arts? The fact you get to fucking make art, however shitty it is political. Art itself is and always has been and always will be political. Everything is political. Dumbass! You, Sydney Sweeney, and people like you are so willfully ignorant it makes me want to peel my skin off. I believe we should love each other and have respect and blah blah fucking blah. Yeah, that's literally what all the regressionists, conservatives, like to tell themselves they believe in when they're at church on Sunday. Notice how she didn't fucking denounce MAGA, by the way. Then they go and vote for trans people and people of color to die. It's like you all regurgitate the same fabrications from each other. And in 2026, to try and say that you are not political, especially with everything happening right now, we all know what that really means. There is no fence sitting anymore. Trying to stay out of it means you're for everything that's happening to people who aren't you. It means you're apathetic. It means you're stupid. We all see through that shit. And we're tired of these weak attempts to just avoid admitting what we all already know. The people who genuinely don't believe in hate in any form have no problem saying they're left-leaning. They have absolutely no problem saying fuck Trump. We are the first ones to do it. Please notice how the same cannot be true for the other end of the spectrum. People who are on the right side of history don't try to dance around saying that. Great talk. Sydney Sweeney is a very tragic case of never learning a lesson and never improving from past mistakes. Her failure or choice not to take her backlash to heart and genuinely consider the core of what people don't like about her leads to her repeating the same dumb decision again and again. That tells me this is not someone who wants to grow and learn and improve. I would like to skip to the part where Hollywood gives up on her as an investment and we don't have to constantly forcefully hear about her anymore. I said in one of my videos that I didn't want to be so aggressive and very blatantly biased about the subjects I choose, but oh my God, I just really am genuinely so sick of Sydney Sweeney. I cannot stand hearing about her anymore, and every time I do, she just gets worse and worse. It really gets to a point where I don't even want to try to be civil for the sake of an image I may or may not successfully build someday. Some people deserve to be dug into. Whether she is one of those people is in the eye of the beholder, but the choice to do so is mine. I can't stand her anymore. And I would rather be honest and condemn the cowardice she stands for than bite my tongue for the extremely slim chance I might get to work in the film industry someday based on a very vague interest in movie making. So like, whatever, I don't care. I do not respect in any way, shape, or form, not an ounce of respect. In the moment that we are living in, all of this civil unrest, all of this tension, all of this hatred, to try and just go, well, I'm not political, and just wipe your hands of any responsibility to remain informed, any responsibility to try to fix something, any responsibility to take responsibility for the part that you've played in it. It's disgusting. You're disgusting, Sydney Sweeney. You disgust me. And so does everyone like you. That was heated. Here are my socials if you want them.